Good evening, everyone. This is Joanne Chestnut coming to you from my home to yours. I want to say to all the moms or women out there who have mommed and nurtured or mothered other children or mothered children, and those who have bared them, I hope you had a good Mother's Day. I had a great Mother's Day doing absolutely nothing. My husband served and waited on me, and it was a wonderful thing, and we were in the house and gratefully doing it with no complaints. I just want to talk a little bit today about the things that are inside of us that need to come out during this time. You know, we're in a season of great change. When we go back to our lives of opening up different states, we won't be the same. You know, we've all been talking about that. There's going to be a new landscape now, and we will be a part of that new landscape. This will go down in history as something that has changed lives forever. But as a result of how society has changed and how lives have changed, we have to grow with the change. And even though coronavirus has shocked us and it has taken so many lives and caused so much detriment and so much pain for some people and a lot of suffering, it's also a time for us to reevaluate who we are and what we want to do, who we are and what God put inside of us. Some of us have books waiting to happen. We have barber shops that should have been open. We have hair salons that should have been open. We have beauty supply stores that should be owned by us. We have hair franchise stores that should be owned by us. Some of us have auto mechanic shops that should be owned, law firms that should be owned, insurance companies that should be owned by us. And we can lay down at night and think about it and kind of see ourselves doing it. But for whatever reason, we don't get up and stop and do that. We have all the reasons in front of us of why we shouldn't. But now is a time to think about and look at why we should. Why we should take those gifts that God didn't mean for us to bring back to heaven when we go home, because that's what we're going back to. That's where we came from. Our mothers gave us physical birth, but we came from heaven. Our lives were there before we got here. We walked it out already. And so that's how we know God had a plan for us already. And he put us here and allowed us to walk out. So he knows what he wants us to do. That thing that's inside of you that you can't stop, you see yourself doing, but you don't do. It's meant for you to do. And it's meant for you to do now in this season. See, life happens in seasons. God operates in season, not in time. He don't operate in time. The calendar and time, the dates, that was made for man. That wasn't made for God. God operates in seasons, and we have to pray and be wise and understand and have wisdom and discernment about when it is our season to step out in that thing God called us. Some of us may have felt we had those things in our heart for a long time, and we may have tried it once or twice and it didn't work. And for some reason, we think it wasn't for us because it failed. Well, guess what? None of that is a failure. None of that is a failure. It's just all the steps that prepare you to get to that place where it's actually going to work. Maybe you stepped out and you heard God say it to you, or you know it's in your heart, but you might have did it prematurely. You might have needed a different circle. Maybe God said, I can't bless you with this now because the folks you around, they'll make you squander it. He sees conversations we don't see. They don't really love you the way you think they do. And if I bless you with this gift right now, if I let you give birth to what you pregnant with, this baby gonna die because them people around you don't love you. They ain't gonna nurture you. They don't want to see you well, so I gotta wait. So sometimes we step out prematurely before it's our season, and we think that means failure. We think it means it wasn't for us, but that's not what it always means. Sometimes it just means you got to be doing it at another time. You might be doing the right thing in the wrong place. You might be doing the right thing at the wrong time. You might be doing the right thing with the wrong folks, and God just got to hold that blessing up. He just got to stop it for a little while until you get in position to where he see you at. Because like as I said, seasons are what God operates in, and you have to have the wisdom to know this is my season right here. And even though this coronavirus came and shocked us, and we had this great depression over it, fear, anxiety, lives were lost, people were hurt, people lost so much material possessions, but more than anything, lives were lost. And we keep talking about that, and people are still losing their lives. But we're going to be in a new landscape when they start opening up these states. Other states start opening up. We're going to be in a new landscape, and we have to be a part of that landscape, and we have to change with it, not just by wearing masks and keeping distance from each other. That's not going to be enough. We got to do something different. Those things that are inside of us have to come out now. I was talking to someone on the phone yesterday, and we were having a conversation, and someone that I believe I know, but you never really know people until you actually talk to them and listen. But we've been on the run so much before coronavirus, always on the go. We hadn't really gotten to know some of the people that we think we know. And she said to me, the person I was speaking with said, I write poetry. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. I said, well, let me hear it. Read the poem to me, and I was just tripped out because it was every bit of a quality and value of a Maya Angelou poem. Just a poet waiting to happen. All those gifts inside. Those gifts don't need to be in the graveyard. Those talents don't need to be in the graveyard. They need to be in the earth. This is a new time for those who didn't have their chance before to have it now. God don't call those who are qualified. He qualifies the called. If he call you to it, if he put that in you, it's for you. And it starts in your head. So if you're always thinking about, I know how I got this book in me. I know I can write this book. I can see the story. It can probably be a movie. I know I could open a barbershop. I can see myself doing it. I can see myself running that and making one of the best businesses in the community. I know I got that hair salon in me. I know I can open up a body shop and keep people with their car running well. I know that I can go to school and be a lawyer. I know that I can go to medical school and pass. But because we've been so disenfranchised and we've been so oppressed, women and men of color, we forget what's inside of us. We got a reason for every reason we have to do it. We got a reason to not. Every solution we have that could show us how to do it, we got a problem is why we can't. But I tell you today, in this season, we got to get up and get that book out. We got to get up and get past all of it. That's certainly what I'm doing. I've been had a book in me. I've been had this ministry in me. I've been had this gift of exhortation in me. I don't have to talk exactly proper or perfect. I don't have to look perfect. I don't have to have this right when I start. I don't have to have that. I just have to take a step. First, I had to get that vision out my head and put it out in the atmosphere. And that's what I'm doing. I didn't have to start perfect. I'm sure some people who look at the video and say, she say, they'll find the faults. But guess what? Eventually, practice makes perfect. And as a matter of fact, perfect practice makes perfect. And you do a thing long enough, you begin to perfect it. You begin to get good at it. And then people look to you for it. So I'm just stepping out in my gift regardless of what it looked like to anybody else. I'm stepping out in it because I know it's been a vision for me for a long time. And I feel that it's my season to bring this vision out. And I want to say to you, people, take this time and get some of that stuff that's written and just maybe give that book to an editor. Give it to someone who's already written a book. Show that business plan for that barbershop to somebody. Show that hair salon plan. Give that dream to somebody who may want to work with you or help you develop it. Start taking steps and go and get your LLC, your limited liability corporation status. Do one little thing. Do one thing that's going to lead you to the next. And I promise you, it's going to move forward. When I was a young girl, I used to hang out with one of my cousins. She used to have a Toyota Camry, and we used to hang out, and I kind of like looked up to her. She was my second cousin. She was my first cousin's wife, and I used to kind of hang out with her, and we would get in her car, and I couldn't drive then, and she would drive, and boy, she would be handling that car, and I could just see myself like, yep, I want a Nissan Maxima. I just loved that car, and I could see myself at night. I would lay down like, I'm going to get me a Maxima. I'll be driving like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about those dreams that you have, that you think about late at night, that come to your head consistently. You can't get rid of it. You know why you can't get rid of it? Because those are things God intended for you to have. Those are the things God intended for you to do. And he ain't letting you go. He ain't letting you loose. And before long, yeah, I had a Nissan Maxima and I was whipping it. And anybody who know me know I drive. And I drive good because I seen that in my head many, many years ago. And I never stopped. And I pay money for me to have a good car. Why? Because it's something that I enjoy doing. I ain't going to work this hard and just give all my money to Georgia Power and Comcast. No. Some of that stuff got to go on you. Your biggest investment is in you. Make that investment in you. I urged the person I was speaking to, I said, you need to publish that poem. You need to put that somewhere where other people can enjoy that gift. I want to read a little bit to you about Moses during the time of Exodus when the Israelites were leaving to go in out of Egypt to go into their promised land. And he was a man who stuttered. And God had assigned him to go talk to the Pharaoh and to the people of Israel to tell them that he was going to lead them out of Egypt. And this is what it said. I'm reading in Exodus 4, verse 10. It says, Moses said to the Lord, pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and will teach you what to say. But Moses said, pardon your servant, Lord. Please send someone else. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, what about your brother Aaron, the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and he will be glad to see you. You shall speak to him and put the words in his mouth. How about the fact that God is going to give him somebody? He will put people along the way in your path. The next verse says, I will help both of you speak and will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth and as if you were God to him. But take this staff in your hand so that you can perform the signs with it. God was like, not only am I going to give you some help, I'm going to give you a staff to go with it, and he's going to look up to you. And God will do that. He will send people. All you got to do is get started. The next thing you know, somebody be saying, hey, man, you got a barbershop business? Oh, you can cut hair? I've been looking for somebody to go in business. Hey, I'm a hairdresser too. I seen a spot over here on Dudley Street. I seen a spot over here on Peachtree. Let's go check it out and see what the price is for the rent. God will send folks to help you. You ever notice that no matter how many times somebody kick you down and you lose that dream, somehow it resurfaces again and comes back again and again because it's there for you. It's your time. This is a season of change and growth and development. Us people of color need to be growing exponentially right now. Us people of God, the remnant. I didn't say those who just know scripture real good. I didn't say those who just know church or who just do church. I said people of God, people who have God in their heart, people whose hearts are clean and they want to do, they love the Lord. They love his people. They don't take other gods. They don't try to be gods to nobody. See, good leaders develop other leaders. They don't try to make people follow them because a good leader don't have to do that. People follow you because of your type of leadership. But servant leaders serve, and then they develop other leaders. So this is your time to go and get that thing and start building it, start making it what it is. God going to send you help. There's help on the way. I'm here to tell you He's going to send you help. You know why? Because I'm on here talking to you. I wasn't going to do this. My baby girl said, Mommy, you got to do it. And told me how to work the camera and all of that. Then I started doing it. Then my big girl said, Mommy, start naming them videos because you're leaving them without no name on it. And ain't nobody going to know what you talk. They helped me. Soon as I jumped on board, look the help was already there. I didn't have to go. I didn't have to pay nobody. They've been helping me how to work Zoom. And just, I'm telling you, He will send you what you need. He will supply all your needs according to His riches and glory. Because He is able to do exceedingly above and beyond all that you could ever ask or imagine. It says in the word, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, neither has it entered the mind or the heart of man what God can do for you. And that is so true. It hasn't entered our heart. Our eyes can't see, our ears can't hear all that God can do, but we got to take that step. We got to step out. Go do that thing. Go get that barbershop. Go get that hair salon. Go write that book. Go open that store. Go do what it is you called to do. Go back to school and get that law degree. Go back to school for that medical degree. If you want nursing, it don't have to be a big feat. If you wanted to just go be a nursing assistant or a medical assistant, whatever you want to do, go and be great at it. It's your time now. It's our time now. And this is my time, my 15 minutes of faith. coming to you from my home to yours. As I said, I didn't do a whole bunch tonight, but I just wanted to speak to you from my heart. I hope you got something out of it, because I got something out of telling it to you. Be blessed, and I will see you again tomorrow if it's the Lord's will. That's my 15 minutes of faith. I'm out.